Check, 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 check.
Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome, welcome back. Welcome, welcome back. Come back. Come back. Come back.
Boom, boom.
Come back. Welcome, welcome back.
Boom, boom.
Welcome, welcome back. Back, back. Back, back. Back, back, back. Welcome. It might stop making sense after the beat didn't go no more. It's changing time signatures and everything. But welcome back. We got to start jam sessions like that again, man.
Yeah.
At the beginning of every show.
Yeah.
Maybe at the end, too, man. This is the Nomtombout Radio Show, man. I am your host, Six.
Yes, yes, and I am Vibe One. We are back again. Peace and love to everybody on the KY side. Covington, Newport, Erlanger, Bellevue, Florence, Burlington, Campbell County, Highland Heights, all surrounding areas. Peace to the Natty.
Yeah, man. We back again for another week. Last week of February. Is this last? No. Next week is the last week of February, right?
No, this will be the last week.
This will be the last week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. Last week of February.
You know, you get the short end of the stick in February.
We got an extra day this year. Yeah. 29 days in February. So that's what's up, man. But, I mean, the world runs off blackness every day, so it really don't matter, man. We out here.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
You know, I got to give my shout-outs, too, man.
Do that.
Shout out to all the attractive pregnant women. Y'all the real winners, man. Oh, man.
Boy.
It's some attractive pregnant women out here, man.
Some women really, really, that glow thing is real.
Yeah, yeah.
That glow is, it's been several times, like, throughout my life to where I'd be a stranger they might be working somewhere and they not showing all the way.
Yeah.
But they have a glow.
Yeah.
They'd be glowed up, and I'll be like, excuse me if I'm being too forward, or if I don't mean to be disrespectful or anything like that. And I'm not saying this because of the size of your body, because, you know, they might think you change. No, I'm just a little overweight. I just be like, are you pregnant? He'd be like, yes, how did you know? I'm only such and such.
Yeah.
I was like, you just got a glow on you. And they'd be like, oh, my God.
I wish I could have another baby just for you. Just because you gave me that compliment. I wish I had two stomachs.
Right.
Hey, man. Sliding a compliment to a female when that's not too forward, but it's just like, no, I'm really just complimenting you.
Right.
Oh, man, you see it change their whole day ASAP. You can tell when they feel like it's genuine, too, because they get that glow, even if they're not pregnant.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what somewhere in my, I guess, my early adult life, I don't know if somebody had passed away, or you know how they say give people their roses while they're here. Yeah. And to a lesser degree, when it's like just giving somebody a compliment. Yeah. I always like speak my mind, like even if I'm in a relationship or something like that, it's just like you said, it's just like, yo, it's like recognizing a beautiful painting on the wall, or complimenting. If you complimenting like your homeboys on this new Jordans or something like that, it's just a compliment. It's nothing to go further beyond. I ain't like, hey, I like your shoes. Let me get them. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with the women. Like, you know, I think like recently somebody had like, it might have been a hairstyle. Your hair looks really nice today, man. She's like, oh, thank you. And then I just kept it pushing. And so she was like, oh, okay, you didn't want nothing. You just gave me a compliment.
Yeah, it was real. Like, you can see how that changed that day, man. I hesitate from giving too many compliments, and it's really against my nature. But I don't be one that. Have you ever been rejected and you wasn't even hollering at somebody? It's just like they just.
I've
like, man, come.
I've either somebody's walked past me, or I might have walked past somebody, and you crossing the path.
Yeah.
So the way I was raised is just always to be polite.
Yeah.
Especially with a woman, you know what I'm saying? So I might be walking past and got a smile on my face, like, hey, how you doing? And then they get a look like they ain't used to somebody speaking to them. And then have it almost like a turned up face. I'm like, damn, I don't want you. I'm keeping it pushing anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, hi. But I don't know if it's they was thinking I was gonna try to, if they answered, something was gonna come behind it, or if they was having a bad day. I don't know. But it you know, you could be taken either way.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. I stopped giving compliments just for that reason, because it just be like, okay, I'm just trying to compliment you, or just say hi, just on the strength of like another black person, seeing another black person. But sometimes I gotta stop being so offended at them, because I don't know why they giving me the reaction, because it might be something personal with them. Like, you ever hear Jay-Z when he was like two people walking down the street in the hood, they look each other in the eye, and one is like mean mugging, and it's just because like, oh, you think I can see you. You think I can see your inner problem, so like you don't want nobody looking you in your eyes, so you think I can like, you think I can see it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I started learning, man, sometimes it's that, sometimes it's me, sometimes I might just be actually giving off a weird vibe because I'm looking at you a certain way. I stare at people a lot.
Do you?
Because I get a lot of my information that I use that I'm good at by just watching other people. So I just be watching, and then I notice like, damn, you staring like a mug, bro.
Right.
But I don't be trying to be like weird or funny or nothing like that. I just like watching people.
People watching.
Yeah. I was a science guy back in school, and it's just like, I feel like that's like some scientific method, because I watched something play out so many times, and then from those results, I can like, oh, is that real, or does that happen a lot?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's crazy, because like I was saying earlier, before we got on air, is for as long as I can remember, I sit somewhere quietly and I observe. So I wouldn't necessarily be staring at one individual or one thing going on. I'm just seeing how somebody's communicating over this. If somebody's way loud and they're doing a lot of talking, I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna jail with that person, because I hate people that just talk just to talk, and need and want attention just for no reason or whatever. Yeah. And then I mean, in the midst of that, you might see somebody that's, you know, a nice looking female, a woman, or a young lady, depending on what age I was. You know, I take a long gander at that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You will kind of stare at that like, wow, she looks good. Then you'll get out of it.
Do you mind getting caught staring?
Nah.
You don't? So if you get caught staring, you just keep looking.
Yeah. What it is like, if I'm staring, if I'm looking, and it's usually not a thing where I've been looking and I'm caught in a gaze type of thing. It's usually like I'm looking, they look, and then I just smile like, how you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm looking at you, but no need for alarm. You know what I'm saying? And I've never been caught looking at somebody's butt though.
Yeah.
That's different.
I'm
like
saying just looking at.
But if I'm just looking, yeah. It's just a lot of the times. Like I told you, like I just said, it's sometimes when I come and you crossing a path and you say something to somebody, I've had that look of, oh, is he about to try to holler? More so than if I'm just sitting somewhere chilling, and they sitting somewhere chilling, and your eyes kind of cross, meet each other just as you kind of glancing. Most of the time, I get a smile back. Most of the time, and it's just like a polite smile.
I don't execute that well. That's why it be so awkward with me, because like, I make eye contact with people a lot, but I either just like, I don't show no emotion, so they just probably be like, I never put myself in the shoes of the other people that I'm staring at. And once I start thinking about it, I'll be like, oh, okay, that is kind of, that would probably do feel different.
Right.
But I just really be trying to figure stuff out, like, man, or maybe I just might be thinking, and I'm not actually staring at you, I'm kind of just staring like through you, but I'm just looking in that general direction.
Right.
The look on my face maybe is something that because you know from a distance away you don't know if somebody is looking directly at you sometimes.
Right.
That's why when walking down the street and there's somebody walking down the same side, that lead up is uncomfortable. It's just like, where do I look until I know I have to look at you?
Right.
Where do you look?
Man, if something like that happens, I have to be paying attention to that moment. Yeah. But a lot of the times I'm not. I might be thinking about whatever I'm thinking.
I anticipate it.
So ain't I'm telling where my eyes are going.
Okay.
I might just be walking like this, just looking straight ahead. Yeah. Thinking. Like, or if it's somewhere I'm coming to for the first time, like, all right, he said the address is such and such. I might be doing like this. And then, right when they get about 5 steps in front of me, it's like, hey, how you doing? Excuse me. Or I might be like, excuse me, do you know where? Yeah. So, you know what I mean? So it may be a thing like that. But when it's a thing where you just somewhere and you know where you at, you just taking a walk. I have had that, especially if they attractive though. Yeah. If they not, then it ain't. I probably don't even think about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think about it too much. But if they're attractive, I'm like, damn.
It's interesting.
It's like, what this do?
You engage with it. That's why you win with it. Yeah. Me, I don't engage. I end it bad because I don't like. I just let it. I let the situation happen. I don't be like, oh, how you doing, or nothing, or smile. I might just be blank face, and then it just become weird.
Right, right.
Or I might just not say nothing. I got to start engaging at the end of those, and I think it'll probably soften up the way it feel probably. Yeah. Okay, I'm learning something about myself, man. Every day.
I feel like, because either way, if you do it, and they give off this, like, they feel, he going to try to holler or whatever. As long as you know that it's a respectable thing, then I can't really. You can only take account for what it is that you do and what your intentions are. Yeah. So how that person gives it back or doesn't give it back, that's on them. It ain't even necessarily a thing about. That's how I look at it. It ain't a thing about me because I'm not even trying to holler at you or be disrespectful anyway. I'm only coming with the purest intent of, hey, how you doing? Yeah. Or your hair looks nice today. If you're giving a compliment, if you're going that far as to give a compliment or something like that. Because I know my mom raised me well and how to communicate with women. So I already know, even grown as I am today, I don't step out of that. I don't step out of that guidelines that I was raised in, not unless that person engages and she's like, let me know. Because sometimes they'll let you. Sometimes this is what it could be too. Sometimes they'll be mad. They'll be a little upset that you didn't try to holler. Yeah. You just was like real. Now I've gotten that way more than any other.
A dumb platonic vibe.
Yeah. I give. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know what I mean? I'll just be like, what? Why? What's the name? Be tripping such and such. I asked a friend that knows her that. Oh yeah, she said she was a little tight because she felt like she was getting off a vibe and you ain't catch it or something.
That's interesting, man.
I was like, well, hey man, I wasn't trying. Like,
that's why women need to speak more. Yeah. Y'all these people with all these feelings, say something. If you start waiting for people to just, man. I heard this a lot from females. You should know. Right. I should be always reading your mind. And I'm trying to figure myself out. So it's like nobody really got time to figure you out.
What they don't understand, maybe because they, you know how they say girls grow up faster than boys, right? So depending on what stage of life they're in, they could be well into their adulthoods, but have always had men hollering at them. So when it gets to a point where a man is not hollering, a man is really being respectful. He's really not saying too much of anything. He's trying to, you know what I mean?
Am I attractive?
It's like it comes from a place where, like you said, well, you should have known. I was giving off this vibe, whatever. But you could just be being. I have to assume that you're just being nice. I can't assume that you trying to give me some vibe, some flavor or whatever.
You know how many times I thought it was because you liked me and acted on it and it wasn't that? That'll keep you from doing that. You
like, yeah.
The old flirty eye.
Yeah. You be like, because I feel like even before all this Me Too and all this stuff, I always felt like you got to give the woman, you got to let her lead. why
in that aspect.
I have to let her be the first one that's like, now I might smile. There's some things that you can't even hide.
Yeah.
When you find something, you look at somebody, you think they're attractive, or you get to know them and you start to like them. Certain things you can't hide, but certain things that I always want to make them feel comfortable. I don't never want to give off the perv vibe. I don't ever want to give off the creepy vibe or whatever the case may be. And then what be so crazy sometimes, like, you creepy? How would you think you look? Okay, I look in the mirror and I think I'm a decent looking dude, but I don't look at myself and say I'm God's gift to the world and every chick should want to like me.
You getting hollered at all day.
Yeah.
You getting hollered at all. If you're an attractive chick, it's somebody always shooting a shot.
Always.
And I know you sick of that. Like, you can look at a girl and see how attractive she is and be like, I know you get harassed all day. I know it,
so
man.
I'm not even going to.
Yeah, I'm not going
to be the 20,000th person today to come at you. But you might be the one that they want.
Yeah, just because of that, maybe.
Yeah.
Because you're not trying. Like, man, I knew a guy, E-Mac. He said when he was in high school, it was a new chick that started school. In the hallway, she literally had a circle around her. She was the new girl.
Wow.
He walked past. He was on the hoop team and everything like that. So, like, he walked past her. Said she came out of the circle and was like, why are you not trying to talk to me? And they end up being cool after that.
Right.
I think that was kind of ballsy on her part to just be like, how come you not? What?
Right. I had a situation that was kind of similar to that. After my senior year, one of my classmates, they had a was it a birthday party? Matter of fact, it was a birthday party, but it was after I had graduated. So this was like a couple months after May or something like that or whatever. But it was going to be a big birthday party at this hotel. So I go to the hotel party. All my homies is there. All my, bunch of people from the city.
Hold on, real quick pause in the story. How old are you letting your kid have a hotel party? How old does your kid have to be to have a hotel party, man?
Like unchaperoned?
Yeah, because I remember being back in high school, like 9th, 10th grade, and people was having.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I wouldn't. Nah.
At that age,
nah.
Where you like, it was people actually they parent would just call over the phone and swipe the card, here go the room.
Nah, I ain't never doing that.
I think about that today. I'm like, dang.
Never. Like, I'll be in the next room or something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Something like that. But I've never done that. See, I got my goddaughter. She's the youngest, and then I got a daughter that's going on 17. And then that ain't even been brought up. Like, that ain't never been you know what I'm saying? She don't even do that type of stuff. That's not something that she's wanted yet. Yeah. But if she wants to do one, like when she graduates next year, yeah, but daddy gonna be
you
in
still
the next
will be
room.
there.
Yeah.
She 18. She'll be 18 by that time.
Yeah, I don't play. Nah. I'm gonna be especially her, and like
that's what a father supposed to do.
You know what I'm saying? My daughter, she's still a virgin and stuff. I got to I don't want her having no bad experiences. You know what I mean? If you allow me, like my other children, anything that they've done in terms of boys or whatever, it's been when they were away from my presence, and they grown enough to be out after high school, 18, 19, and they doing their thing in college or whatever. So whatever's going on, I can't control it. But when it's somebody that's under my roof, and I'm not even under my roof, because my daughter that I'm talking about now, she lives with her mom, but me and her mom are in accordance. You know what I'm saying? Like this boy stuff and all that, it's got to be handled and dealt with a certain kind of way. Yeah. I ain't on it. You know, it's my baby girl. I ain't trying to hear it. So if it came to something like that, if I ain't there, her mama got to be down there. Yeah. Just cause. Now let's just, if she has the room and it's gonna be her and her homegirls.
So what age? They gotta be 18.
Yeah, she could be 18.
You gotta be grown.
She gotta be 18 to do it. Yeah, no, anything under that. Yeah, I'm in the, the mama's got to be in the room with, or in a attached room.
Cause for real,
because after the party, the boys got to go, and then whoever spends the night, it's gonna be her and her homegirls.
Okay.
That's how that's gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Cause I think the ones in high school people was talking about. I think somebody was just swiping the car and getting a gang of kids a room, and then it's just like, I don't see how no parent do that, knowing how they probably was at that age. It's like, bro, you already know what's about to happen. Mm-hmm.
This particular party though, that I was talking about, that it was It was a dance. So I didn't go up and even when that dance was over, all the girl and her homegirls, they all went up in the room. But at the dance, I'm jamming, I'm boogieing, dancing the whole night, right? Gone. So I get a ride home. Me, the girl who's driving us home, her friend, and then two of my homeboys. It was the three of us in the back. It was three of us in the back. Me and two other homeboys. Yeah, so that's three. Yeah. They hollering. I get dropped off. Holla. I get dropped off at the crib first, right? So she pulls up in front of my house, and I was like, "Thank you, I appreciate it. Nice meeting you." Cause she was from Connecticut. She wasn't even from here, but she had moved here or whatever. Baltimore. She say, I say, "Nice meeting you. Thanks for the ride. Y'all get home safe or whatever." She say, "You ain't even hold up." I was like, "What?" She said, "I can't even get your number or nothing like that. You ain't say." And my dude who was sitting, I didn't gonna say his name. I was with his wife. We still homeboys to this day. We watched the fight and all that or whatever. But so I was just with him last night. That's what's funny as heck. He was like, "Hold up, I've been shooting game to you."
He came out the whole like that.
Yeah, really? He was like from the hotel all the way in. I couldn't get no play. He ain't said not one word to you, and he get the number. She was like, "Yeah, I like that." He wasn't, because he was trying to shoot shots as opposed to just communicating with her. Yeah. Everything was a line. Trying to hit the corny line and all that stuff or whatever. And mine was just like, "You silly." She might mention something. I see her looking at me though through the rear view. I mean, the rear view. She looking up. I'm looking up. I'm looking away like I ain't pressed, because I ain't pressed for real. You a nice looking girl and all that, but I ain't pressed. Yeah. They hollering. That's a turn off. That's a turn off for me.
Full court.
Somebody else trying to holler, I'm like, nah. I need exclusivity. Period.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't on that. I ain't competing for nothing. So, how you doing? Sorry.
You ever not know if you about to have to check somebody? You're like, okay, am I gonna have to be
right
assertive or
the way you said, "What's up?"
But look like you in my seat. I thought he was about to.
Yeah.
We filming here at Park Place, man.
Yeah, thank you to the wonderful people here at Park Place. But I get out the car. Yes, I get the digits. And I'm saying, I start communicating with her, whatever. But they was solid, especially the one homeboy. My other homeboy really wasn't. My homeboy, man. Oh man, he was sick, but he was like, you gonna get hit a number?
Seeing somebody get a number that they didn't work for and you've been putting in work, it's like filling your tank up with gas and then somebody just hop in your car and just dip. You like, but I put that gas in there. That's why I'm not big on giving compliments. I got a joke about why I don't get too many compliments. I'll tell you the joke off air, or we can edit it out of here because I wanted to be on the actual Spotify. I got a joke about let's mark this time so you can take this out because this cannot be aired.
Okay.
I'll say you can't just be out here giving random compliments to women, man, because you know what they do with them compliments. Compliments are energy. And when you give a random compliment to a female, she take that energy and they store it. You know where they store it? They store it in their neck. And they store it in their neck and they use that energy to give head to the dudes they really like. So stop gassing these chicks up, man, and you ain't getting nothing out of it, man. But I be feeling like it's against my nature. Like sometimes I just be wanting to tell a chick, like, this is one chick, she looks so crazy. I'll show you a picture, but she came to the studio a couple years ago, and we was just working with her. She one of them chicks who she's super attractive, and it's almost like she oblivious of it. and she's so cool that you just it's weird to you as a dude. You be like, man, you cannot be this cool, and you look like, do you not know you look like this, or do you have a lot of brothers, or I just be wanting to tell like, man, let me help take care of your kids or something. I just you ever met a girl that looks so good, you just want to give her something out of your pocket? You like, what I got? Like, I just want to give you something.
Right.
It's a simpy-ish feeling. It's a simpish feeling, but it's just like that type of beauty shouldn't go.
Ain't easy. Boy.
Like, let me take care of your kids, man. Something. I
definitely had that feeling to where when I was in high school though, you just want to be around them.
Yeah.
It's like you just soaking up energy. It's like I ain't gotta touch you. You just show, especially when. Well, let me clarify. When they're like the one that you're describing. Yeah. When they know it and they buttholes about it, nah, I don't care how fine you are. That's a turn off.
Yeah, that's a turn off. Inner ugly is always lead to outer.
Yeah. But when they like that, just a super man.
She the ones from the Broke My Heart to Pieces video. If you've seen that,
I gotta see it. I gotta see it again.
I'll show you.
Okay. There's been girls from back in the day that look like what you're saying and like play basketball. Yeah. Or play some kind of sports or just kind of act like one of the homies.
Yeah, they usually got.
And then want to play basketball and then want to back you down with the booty.
Hey man,
like, oh,
it's changing the game.
One time I was playing ball, man. It was a it was a what they call it. Well, I can't think of the nickname of it.
Street heat game.
I didn't have no clean draws day, so I was free. You know what I'm saying? So
'cause I'm free. Free.
So we playing ball, and I'm fine until this girl walks on the court. Her and her homegirl play me and my homeboy 2-on-2. She's sticking me. And she's blessed. Yeah. You feel me? So
from the Donkalopagos.
Oh my goodness. Backing me down. Bam. Bam. I'm like,
this is a twerk fest.
And this is when I'm young. So when you young, the wind could just blow a certain kind of way. It is on. So I'm just like, shoot. So I'm trying to arm check her so she don't back it up on me too. Man, it took about 3 different plays of her doing that. She backed up that one time. She was like, oh. I was like, yeah, you got to.
You had one of the moments. I'm from North Carolina. I like basketball. You remember that from the wood?
Oh yeah.
Couldn't get up from the desk. I'm from North Carolina. Yeah. That's it. Hey man. Yeah.
Oh man. I don't want to go all the way that way.
Yeah, it was about to get.
I remember being in class though. I remember being in class in high school, and the motherfucker say the teacher be like, "Come up and do this problem." Like, nah.
Not right now. Not right now, man. Not right now. I've been in some open mics, and it'd be somebody on stage. You'd be like, man, I hope they do not call me next, because this cannot happen, man.
Where was I just at? Like, I was just somewhere. Dang. Where was I just at? And I got up.
You had to sit back down.
No, I went ahead and because I felt like at that point mentally I had got myself under control a little better. As soon as I get up, start walking, I just see somebody look down. Like I was like, oh man, I didn't situate it enough to where it wasn't gonna be noticeable. I was like, oh man,
we might not be able to use this episode for the radio, man. But what do you do when that happens? Like, man, I done had to switch aisles in the grocery store a couple times, like, because you don't even expect it. But like, you might see somebody attractive. Seeing somebody attractive, I don't know about you, but I don't got many hoes.
Right.
So it's different from seeing somebody attractive, and then if they engage with you, you be like, man, hold up, this could be going a certain way. And then it might just spring up on you, be like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, what's happening?
Well, with me, it doesn't come from those type of situations, like me having a conversation or something. It's just something, if I'm sitting somewhere, and I could be tired. You know what I notice? If I yawn a couple times, like,
Yeah, sleepiness is the first.
Then you go sleep. It got a mind of its own, or you get tired of something. It'll just do it. So this time that I'm talking about, like a couple of days ago, it wasn't even nothing going on. It wasn't even like it wasn't nothing. I was just chilling. I was sitting, and it was. I needed to get up, and I was like, okay, let me situate for a second. Why is this happening? I'm too old for this to be happening. You know what I'm saying? This when you happen when you were your teens or something like that, or young adolescent or whatever. And it's just like, well, it's a good thing though, because it let you know so you still
Blood's
good.
Still flowing.
Yeah.
You ain't got the beaters, the sugar.
Right.
At least I ain't got the sugars.
Right, boy.
Yeah, man. Women don't know nothing about that.
Mm-mm.
All they stuff is internal, man. You might see a nipple get hard.
Right.
But that could mean anything.
Yeah, it could be cold.
It could just be women always got hard nipples.
Poor women though, cause they can do stuff like I don't know. You know what? We need to have a woman in here one time and ask these type of things, cause we know.
We should get a panel of
We know what they do that's maybe unbeknownst to them until somebody brings it to attention. Then they might start doing it on purpose, but unbeknownst to them, what they may do that might spark us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It ain't much.
Yeah. So I wonder what for a woman. I know smelling good. I could be somewhere and somebody just, oh my God, you smell so good. I'll be like, oh, thank you, and it kind of be like, and I'll be like, okay, thank you. I'm trying to like turn away, kind of keep it moving. They kind of like, I ain't even done. Like I ain't even done talking to you about this. Like, well, you know what I'm saying? I just like, okay. See, you know what I'm saying? But it's like a woman has so many attracting qualities about them physically, and then you throw in whatever comes out of their mouth at a conversation and then their intellect, that just heightens it even more. Yeah. So it's just like, we rendered helpless.
Helpless, man.
We rendered helpless. You got to like really double down on your your self control. You got to really double down on your respect level and all that, cause before
especially
you know it, that beastly will come up out of you.
Yeah, and it's just like you can't be over aggressive with nobody these days, man, because it could get taken in a way different way.
Yeah.
So it's just like, how do you tell somebody, like, you can't really you gotta hide what you may actually want to say, what you may have been able to say in the past, behind, like, you can't be just as upfront with certain stuff. Like,
Right. Yeah.
Even just on a flirty, it could be low level flirting. I know a dude who got fired. Oh, I know a chick. It was this guy. I used to work at this job. It was a manager, and then he had his girl that worked there. His girl had some random job. She was like a sales lady or something like that. It was at IKEA.
Okay.
So he a manager. She sells stuff on the showroom floor. She was pregnant. A dude asked about, like, how's the baby doing? She went and told her manager, and the guy got fired. But because she made it seem like he did more than that. Like he was touching on my belly. Or, I don't even think he touched her, but she just she ran up a lie on him and got him fired. So it's like, how do you even? It's hard, right now, ladies.
That's dirty.
Like, ladies,
if you felt uncomfortable, she should have been like.
But she one of them type of people who just like, she was a ruiner. She tried to ruin stuff. So he didn't do nothing but ask her, like, how's the baby doing? She went and told her boyfriend, who was a manager. The manager's like, what? And you know, chicks sometimes they only tell you a certain part of the story because they know you gonna react.
Right.
You gonna come to the honor. So they telling you the part that they know is gonna get you ramped up. And a lot of times we lose a lot of good people like that, man. I know it's been people, mothers and sisters that ain't got them. It's people in jail right now in there because they moms and sisters hype their heads up.
Right.
This dude over here hitting on me. You like, what?
You go to jail and they still together.
Right. The chicks that bailed the dude out of jail, that sent him to jail, like, man, that's crazy to me, man. So it's good women out there, man. This is the time for y'all to step up. We ain't talking to the ones that's trash. If you trash, we don't want no part of you anyway. But the good women, if you out there looking for somebody, man, you got to throw some obvious signs. What's an obvious sign you would like to get from a female? If you like me, you should do these things just to make it obvious.
I don't mind if a woman came up to me and she said something that was overtly sexual.
I don't.
Then it's like, okay. She wants to just get busy. So I'm thinking in my head, if it wasn't me today, who would it been? And then who was it the other day?
Been?
Yeah, so that means, okay, I'm like, you look frisky. I ain't going to be. See, a lot of people would get the big head like, oh, it's me.
Nah, it's not you.
Nah, bro, it's you today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would just be like, hey, I've had that. I've had, when I was young, I've had, mother just grab my stuff and just be like, what you working with? And all coming like that. I'm like, yo, what the? And then.
Overly sexual, but it sound good in a man's mind, but when you come across a chick who just like, it's kind of like, you got the manly characteristics of it seem like you trying to choose me, it'd be uncomfortable because it's just like, nah, this is not how this is supposed to go. I thought it sounded like a good idea, but not this aggressively.
But if it's somebody coming in a regular way, I like straightforward. I do like straightforwardness, and you know, with boundaries though. So like if you come up and she come up and she's like, just like if we was to give a compliment, but she's coming up in a way to let you know, like, you know what, you know, I've seen you such and such amount of times, and I really like whatever. I think that you're handsome, and I think that you're a good guy. Are you seeing somebody? You know, you can come at me like that, and then we can deal with the right and exact situation of it. Then, like, I'm not interested, or I thank you for the compliment, but I'm seeing somebody. You know, you can get it all out the way right there. Long as it's not a thing to where, cause even if we come up to somebody, we ain't just like, damn, I want to get to know. Yeah, we want to get to know her, man. Well, we know eventually if we start hollering, if we start kicking it with this person, we're gonna have sex. So that's in there. So we ain't gotta act like that ain't nowhere in there. But if you come doing something that I'm like, you would do this to anybody, and you trying to do it right now, I don't know.
Because you too wild out
Yeah,
there.
you trying to.
You just doing this with anybody. Who knows the danger you put me in?
Yeah.
And especially a sexually aggressive female, that's not the move, man. Unless you've been with her for a while, and that's like your chick, I think that might be something.
Right, yeah.
Vibe. But just a random, it's like, ugh. Nah, bro. Like, we socialize not to even view women as being a sexually, like, dominant or aggressive person. So, like, you coming with all this, like, nah, bro. That make me feel like you giving off more of a manly vibe to me.
Right, because you have sometimes. This is what I don't like when women are well, the men able to do it. I'm gonna do it. Don't do what we do,
bro. Don't do it.
Because what we doing, us that do things that's in a bad sense, it's not right. So two wrongs don't make it right. That's one of the oldest sayings in the book. And the way y'all design, you figure this. When it comes to sex, right? When we hit our climax, it's very quick sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
The mental change that happens.
And then they, meaning the women, they have this experience in such a different way to where actually they deserve to have more of an orgasmic climax, multiple orgasmic climax. All the stuff that they go through that's so internal that we never could fathom, they deserve it, because guess what? If they get pregnant, they the ones that's going to have to go through the morning sicknesses. They the one that's going to possibly have a dangerous pregnancy. They the ones that's going to have to give. But they got to do all this other stuff that's going to come with pain later from that little however long it took you to have sex with them. Yeah. So it's like it's more on their shoulders to deal with from having sex. So they should enjoy it more than the male, I feel, because they're going to have to deal with more if anything comes from, ramifications from behind having a sexual encounter or whatever. But I still like it when you let me know exactly what's on your mind, but you do it in a way to where I feel like you still got some she still has some type of respect for herself. Like, I'm letting you know I like you, but I ain't talking about we gonna do it today. I want to get to know you. Yeah. I want to. Like, I ain't that type of woman, but I want to let you know just in case, because I don't know if I heard you was single, so I'm gonna try to get my bid in now. Next week, somebody else might holler. So I want to just get my bid in and just let you know that, hey, I'm checking. I remember one time I had a conversation with somebody, and then they followed up in the conversation online, and you know when somebody was like, okay, well I'm about to get up out of here. Nice talking to you, but we'll link up. Da 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 da. Okay. All right, cool, peace. And then you go out of the messenger, and then there's another message that come back, and there's another question. Answer the question, get on up out of there. Next thing you know, another one comes back, and then it gets to the point where it's like, I keep saying I need to go ahead and get out here and do this. I'm tired. I got to do whatever. But for some reason, I don't want to get off. I'm in such a good place right now. I'm having such a good time communicating that I don't want the conversation to end. I'm like, oh. Okay. I see where we going. I see where we going now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I see where we going
I'm
now.
usually on the opposite side. I'm usually the one sending the extra text like, man, don't go. If somebody posted something on Facebook the other day, like, what's your longest relationship? And I put 4 to 5 texts. This is my longest relationship, man. It always end up with me being like, what happened? What happened, though? Oh, okay. All right, that's fine. Get over it.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It's a different vantage point.
You still 4 to 5 Texas.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Man. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, man.
That's crazy, bro.
The hurt is making me funnier, I feel.
Dang. Wow.
Yeah. It's true. But what was you about to say?
I don't know. You threw me off right there. That was like, I thought you was going to say
it's interesting.
4 or 5 years.
No. Couple text. Not even paragraph text. Not even paragraph text. Just
wow. 2 words.
Sometimes 1 word. Sometimes no response. Hey, man. They'll be like, oh, okay. All right. Oh.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's, man. I've had several people be in my DM. I've had several different times, people been in my DM. And, like, it's been, like, off of pictures. I've had people in my DM that were really good friends with somebody in my family, which means you friends with me. Like, if the person that's in my family, you really, really close, you like a sister to them, then you fan of me because that's how much I love my family member that you love.
Yeah.
So I had put a picture. It was just a regular picture of me standing up against a fence with a white T-shirt on, good coloring, light sunny was day or whatever. And eyebrow up, like The Rock. and one of my people's friends had hit me on my messenger and was like, "Yo, listen, Lo, seriously, like, you killing me." And I was like, LOL, what you talking about? Cause she's a funny, she we laugh and stuff all the time whenever, she would be coming to town or whatever. So I'm not even thinking where she about to take it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, LOL, what you talking about? She said, no, like, seriously, like, you got to take that picture down. I was like, what picture? Because I didn't even, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She
was like, the picture of you up against the fence, da-da-da-da. Like, seriously, I'm trying to look at you as family, but you got to take the picture down. I was like, oh, she's serious.
We be having the same conversations on DMs, just flipped. They be like, oh, my God, you killing me. Just please stop hitting me up. I thought just ghosting you would be enough. Why do you keep sending me messages that say, yo?
Yeah. Yo.
This man is real weak in my pain right now.
Oh, man. Oh, man. That's crazy.
It is, man. Imagine if you think it's crazy.
Let me tell you.
I think it's insane.
Daggone. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what? Cause you don't never know. You can assume, but you know what they say that does. But I wouldn't. I would think that it seemed like, I don't know, but the more you've explained yourself and how you, just like today you were saying like the anxiety or whatever. Yeah, so how that could come off sometimes to people, you never know. But I would have never really, before really me and you really connecting and being cool, I wouldn't have thought that it would be like that for you. You know what I'm saying? I would think like your charisma, your but you said it don't come. It's not on display because of the anxiety. But I see it because I see it from the stage perform or whatever. Yeah. So I figure you probably got them cracking up.
And it's not that pressure on the relationship. Yeah. I feel pressure a lot. Like when I see attractive women, I think I don't need to put them in my mind where I put them. I've always been a pedestal putter, and I think the vantage point is hurting more than it helps. Yeah. Because it's not good. Yeah. But I'm learning that about myself though. Like, okay, you just gotta think of it in a more realistic place. Yeah. Like instead of like, why are you putting her all the way up there? Like,
right. I did that. I did that when years ago. I used to be like that with just like a few. My situation for me, like in high school, was it could be 20 girls that wanted to do foul and sexual dark things to me.
I live vicariously through Vibe stories.
But I didn't want none of them. The ones I wanted, it was a challenge, and I put them on a pedestal. So in my mind, where they were, it affected me in a way to where probably similar to what you're saying. It's kind of like it just made things more pressure than was needed. Yeah. And I think that might have came off from me back then because, you know, when you're young, and not even that I was trying to be super serious with them, but I had one instance.
Your vibe is an actual vibration, and it's coming off either too intense or it's resonating a certain way where it's just like, I know I done put myself in that position before where like now I used to think it was just plain like I'm not attracted to you, get out of my face type thing. But I think now it's just like it might have been like, okay, he's attractive, so why is this coming off like this? Like it was the pressure that I put on it in my head. Anytime you put any type of pressure on anything in your head, it become more difficult. Yeah. Instead of just like with an ugly girl, I get ugly girls all day, man. But if you might not be attractive to everybody, but if you're attracted to me in a certain way, it changed the way I think more about my response. Like especially in text. Like you trying to come up with the perfect text. It's too much pressure on the situation. Right. It's not gonna come off as natural. Right. It's gonna come off as rehearsed. Now I'm learning that more about myself. Like just go with the flow and just like if it feel like it's. Do it if it feel right. The song I did, I had no idea why them words came to me, but I be talking to myself through music. You probably have it the same way. Yeah. You listen back to something, you be like, man, this is like a. Bruh. I was really trying to encourage myself, or I knew something about myself that I didn't even know at that time that just fell out of myself.
For sure.
That's what's so good about art.
For sure, yeah.
It's your natural self just on display for yourself.
Because my best form of communication has been music, and then to the point where to a fault.
Not even to a fault, man.
I mean, I'm in terms of relationship, not for me,
but to the world.
Word,
man. Look at people in the world, man. People who like, I feel like that's why R. Kelly was able to do what he did for so long because R. Kelly, he would say everything he had on his mind through music. A lot of people I be looking at that's like millionaires. They don't have an opinion on shit unless it come out. Oh man, oh me, oh my. We good. They don't have an opinion on nothing outside of the form where the way that they communicate with the world. Like they might, if they a painter, they might paint their anger about an issue. They're not just about to be like, man, I hate what's good. Nobody wants to hear that from you. Right. We know you for painting. Everything you say need to be through that type of art form. When people live through their art form, they don't get criticized as much for having an opinion because it's wrapped in this like it's bacon wrapped almost. It's more palatable.
Right.
Like it might be a pill wrapped in chocolate or something like that. That effect.
Yeah.
Like, but when you just step outside of your art zone and be like, man, I hate. People be like, what? Canceled. You cannot.
Yeah.
It's just a better space to work out of.
Yeah.
I'm realizing that more and more too. That's why I've been posting so many funny videos this week, because I'm like, people like what I have to say when it come out in music form or comedic form.
Yeah.
Just work in those lanes where it's easy for you.
Bruh. The one when the woman was talking to the little boy.
Hey, yeah, I did that one a while ago and reposted it. Check out my Instagram page. It's I do these like comedic voiceovers.
Oh shit!
And this one that he's talking about, it's a lady on the street. It's like she giving an interview to a little kid, and she say something to the little kid, and he's smiling at first, and then he start crying about the issue. Just go to my Instagram page, Blaze6513, BLAZESIX513, and you will see it, and you kind of get it. But he was laughing at that online.
Hilarious.
Why was it funny to you?
Just because it was just perfect, man. How you cause first, you know, when you scroll down, this you gotta hit the sound so you can hear what's going on. Yeah. So I saw that it was you, and I was like, and I seen the boy start crying. So then I was like,
what could this be?
Let me hit this. Go back. So it started over, and it started over. And the voice, the way your voice was, and you was just catching it. The timing of it was perfect. And when the boy started, cause first thing you said he was smiling, and you was talking about the girl. And then I forgot the full line that you said, but as soon as you said it, he started crying. I was just like, man, this is hilarious. What? I watched that much. I just watched it about 4 times. I was like, this dude is hilarious, man. The timing of it, how you timed what you were saying with her mannerisms, and then his responses to her, and then the crying part came. The crying part was just like, it just,
hey, when he started crying, that's funny with the whole video on mute. It's because it's such an extreme change of emotion.
Yeah,
you see on the little boy face.
Yeah,
like, and for those who might not have social media or whatever, it's on Instagram. But like, I voiced it over. So the lady's talking to a little boy. The little boy goes from smiling extra hard to crying, and I say, "Are you over your ex?" And the little boy smiles and nods his head, yes. No, he's smiling, but he nods his head. He shakes his head, no.
Okay.
That's another thing I feel like made it funny, because like, why is he crying and shaking his head a certain way? But like,
right.
So then my response as the woman is like, he start crying, so I say, see, love is uncomfortable, like a small shirt. But the way it's lined up, it's just it's one of my better voiceovers.
The way it's lined up is perfect. The way it's lined up is perfect, and he's like he coming off like he's confused, like he's trying to give a good face, like I'm over here, man. But
he couldn't hold it, man.
Oh man,
I think a lot of people can relate to that, man. So, yeah, man. It's gonna be a lot more funny content coming too, man. Because I'm going back to my essence, man. What worked for me? I spent so much time trying to guard myself from rejection that it made me what do they call that? Jaded. And I just started becoming somebody I didn't want to be, like, always in that defensive mode. I wasn't even funny no more. So you got to get back to what feel right, man. Do it because it feel right. So I told myself, man, this month especially, you just got to be funny at all times. Like, I'm glad I wasn't in that show with you on Friday, because I had a plan in my head what I was going to do on stage. It was going to be hilarious.
For real.
But it was getting thrown by elements, so I couldn't even do it. I was on that stage, man. I was going to do the crybaby. I had it in my head. And then we got there and Abdullah was there, and I was like, I can't do that shit, man. And then I had to go anyway, so it's just like, dang, man, I'm glad I didn't stay, because I was going to hump that stage, man.
Yeah, what's crazy is that, so the show he's talking about was Thrive. Let's go ahead and shout that out again. It was a wonderful event thrown at the Wilbur Theater, sponsored by Elements and Arts Wave. They did a wonderful job. Shout out to Elements. They had the food on point for us beforehand. Everything we needed to drink.
What y'all eat?
They had what's this Mexican restaurant out there on not too far from where from the movies out there that you like to go to. What's the movies out there?
Oakley.
Oakley.
Was it Cozumel? Cozumel.
Nah, it's got a D in it. COND. It's right next.
Condado or
Condado.
Or
Condado's that one.
Okay.
Oh.
It was banging.
I had to stop myself and eat because I'd have been ready to go to sleep. But oh my gosh, so the food was just wonderful, right?
Yeah.
So we eat this food, then we got to do the sound check. After we do the sound check, I go home. So when I get home, I'm trying to decide, am I gonna do this wardrobe change? Because the way the show was set up, each artist does a song. It was set up in 4 different themes.
It's set up in playlist format.
Yeah. So the theme was the first theme was self. The second theme was hustle. The third theme was love, and then the fourth theme was growth. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I go second on the first set. I go third on the next set. Then after the person that goes fourth, we spin it back around, and on the love part, I come out first. So I was like, but for that song, that's where I'm going to need to change my clothes. So I asked my daughter. I wasn't going to do it, right? I was like, babe, you like what I got on? She said, Dad, you know I love that shirt. I was like, cool. So I'm cool. I was like, I was going to do a wardrobe change. You think I be doing too much? She said, that would be cool. I was like, all right, I'm glad you said it because you made me go ahead and do it. I run up the steps, grab my other stuff. Yeah. Now, I'm already about to leave out the door. I run back upstairs, get my bag, put this. I said, this is what I'm going to wear with the shoes. And she's like, oh, yeah. I was like, okay, boom. Bye, baby. I take off. Yeah. Get down there. The show's going on. Go through the first song, come through to the second song, and now after I gotta run off stage, run upstairs, get into the dressing room. I'm kicking off my shoes. Yeah. Now I'm putting on dress shoes. So I gotta kick off my tube socks, put on dress socks, put on my pants, put on my button-up shirt, brush my hair because I had a hat on, so my hair's looking crazy. Brushed my side of my hair. Then I hadn't had a cut either. It was just looking crazy. Yeah. And then I gotta get all the stuff that's on the top of my head, get it all together. Put my glasses. I don't even get the chance to put my glasses on for that look. I run back downstairs. It's my turn.
Okay.
Music's coming on. DJ stops the music because he don't see me. I said, let it go. I'm here like that, right? So I walk out on stage and I just kind of pause. I said, yeah, because what's happening is they're not really necessarily shouting out the themes. And there was like a projector, but the themes wasn't being projected on the projector. So I was like making sure I was saying, we're going into this theme so they could get what it was. Yeah. I said, yeah, all the things it's been tonight has been this is the love thing. So I had to come out and make sure I look good for the ladies. And I did a little, what's the pimp thing they be doing? They be stumping like Martin. Yeah. So I did that. They start laughing, you know what I'm saying? So going into our song, Call It Love, and and killed it or whatever. So me doing that and you would have did whatever you would have did, it might have been all right, though. I don't know.
But I gotta, man, we trying to get the space. We actually trying to get the space to record the elements sometimes if we need to. And I got a meeting with them next week.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, because I talked to the guy who I guess he run elements, the white guy that was with Abdullah.
Yeah.
And after I talked to them, I was like, damn, I definitely can't do it now. We supposed to meet Tuesday night. That wouldn't be a good look. Nah. Yeah. But on the way I was driving down, I'm like, man, I'm gonna hump that.
It might work out. Because I'm already connected with them now. Cause not even the area, but because I work through them now too. Yeah. And my daughter's a dance teacher dance instructor down there.
Is that how you doing the Frederick Douglass School?
The Frederick Douglass thing came about because of Doo-Wop. She was already teaching, and they had another young guy who was teaching with her, and somehow his schedule worked out to where he's doing something else now. So I guess they were trying to figure out who would be a good one. And she was like, I guess Doo-Wop was like, well, Vibe. And then they already seen me on the posters down there. Mm-hmm. So everybody kind of knew who I was or whatever. And then they knew my daughter was down there.
Yeah. So Vibe just got a new job, man. He just started this past week. Tell him a little bit about what you're doing.
I'm at Frederick Douglass Elementary in Walnut Hills, and me and Doo-Wop. Anybody who knows Doo-Wop, she running poetry in the city. She does the Cincinnati poetry slams every 3 months out at Artsville in what's that Madisonville on Wetzel. So we go in and we teach first graders, fourth graders, and first, fourth, and fifth and sixth. I think it's something. It's some of them are kind of mixed up, and we teach them about poetry and how poetry is used, the rhyming schemes, and how it's used in music, whether it's singing, whether it's rapping, and we teach them the technique of it. A lot of them already know about Hickory Dickory Dock. They know all their little nursery rhymes and all that, but they don't know the actual, like if it, in terms of us doing music and never really knowing about bars or never really knowing about what a hook is or the cadence or rhyme schemes. We teach them all those types of things, and then like, so towards the end of the course, I'm going to incorporate rhythm. So I'm going to incorporate how rhythm goes along with rhyming and song creating and different stuff like that. So just in case it's something that they want, and then we can let them know, you can go to Elements, because Elements has all these things available for you if you want to take this further outside of this classroom. So the first week was cool, man. We had little challenges, with the younger ones, but and then with the older kids, they kind of like, sometimes they don't want to be the first one to raise their hand and say something because they don't want to look, they don't want to be embarrassed. They still trying to be cool, but eventually, as the class goes on, they opening up and they really engage. And
I don't like that about growing up. The more you grow up, the less free you are with yourself.
Right.
Like, it's like an unlearning process. When you a kid, you just shout stuff out. I think it's nasty. Like, you just you speak from your heart, and then somewhere along the way, during that schooling, especially like anytime you're around a whole bunch of your peers, you learn to, like, okay, this is where you don't talk, or this is where you don't be yourself. Right. I don't like that. I feel like people could probably fly if you wasn't told as a kid, like, people don't fly. Like, certain things, I feel like it just closed off certain circuitry to your brain at a very young age. To where that part, that's why you don't use the full 100% of your brain, because you've been massaged into thinking like that's not even possible. Right. I feel like if certain stuff wasn't told to us, our minds would, man, be infinitely open. Then how powerful are you? But go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
Right, but so that's been going good. Really happy to be able to add that to my repertoire. To something else that I do is and it's based off of what I do. You know what I mean? So that's been dope. So it seemed like it would make sense, and it would be a no-brainer that we be able to even get down there.
The maturation of Lil Roney, bro.
Yeah.
That's deep. It's almost like you prophesize that.
Yeah.
Just elevating to another level where that's a full cycle. When you can be able to teach what you've learned, that's a full cycle of learning. Yeah. I took my life and learned these things, and now I'm regurgitating them to people who are starting their life.
Yeah.
That's powerful, bro.
Powerful, bro. Cause, and you think about it, like, I don't know if, I don't know, cause certain cities and certain places, the level of consciousness about the arts is different. You know what I mean? But where I come from, where I went to school in Covington, we didn't have nobody coming in explaining nothing about nothing like this.
Nothing artistic.
Nothing artistic. You had music class, but nothing to the point where somebody came in and talking to you about song structure. And poetry was out then. Rap was still new, so I wouldn't expect nobody to do that at that time. But poetry was always out there. Singing was out there. Songwriting was out there. So, but it never was something that was even a thought. And what's crazy is that many years ago, when the first conversations start coming up about Elements, we were in the room. And when I say we, I'm talking about the Watusi tribe. The people that started and was one of the developers, the guy that you probably gonna meet with, he probably don't remember this, but him and then other hip people that was in our hip hop community at the time, that we, like, a few other people, like only a few, like it was in its infancy, like the thought. We've been thinking about coming up with this thing and calling it Elements. It's gonna be dealing with the hip hop,
Elements,
We was in the room.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we wasn't even in the room. We was like standing outside, like on a porch, a back porch or something. And they were talking about it. And we didn't necessarily just jump in and do anything with it because our manager at the time was one of the ones that was in the conversation. So we was right there just listening and not knowing whether it was going to be something that picked up and happened or not. But, we kind of just go on doing what we were doing for the rest of the time that we were doing our music and stuff. So this was like 2003. It might have been like 2002 or 2003. When that conversation came, and then they later ended up becoming what it became, and then how I even got aware of it, became really aware of it, was my daughter started going there for dance.
Yeah.
And so like the full circle thing, that's another type of full circle situation, and then I end up becoming involved in it anyway because I was going to be involved with it then, but it just. You didn't know if it was going to materialize, and I wasn't in control of anything. But I just was
it wasn't what it was, what it is.
Yeah, we was a part of the conversation because even way back then we were looked at as OGs, veterans, the pillars of the hip hop. So they wanted to get our input and all that type of stuff. So for it to come all the way back around, it's just like you said, it's just like dang. And if I would have stopped, it wouldn't, it wouldn't happen. Doo-Wop would have stopped. It wouldn't, she wouldn't have been doing all the things that she's been doing because she's been doing a lot of that poetry things she's been involved with. Actually, like on the 20th, she had a performance that night with Chuck D. I think somewhere up on UC's campus, but it was brought out by Elements. So she went out and did some poetry, and I don't know what the topic that Chuck D was speaking on that night, but it was the same night as the Thrive show. She did that, and then she came out to the Thrive show, and she told me that it was a good turnout and everything went good. So big up and shout out and big up a lot of respect to Elements, man, because they doing a lot of things with these kids that it can be difficult. I done been in some of the dance classes where it's like they trying to reel these kids in to get them to focus.
Yeah. And
depending on the age level, it can be difficult. But if you got the patience to stick with it, and you start seeing what you teaching them or showing them become a part of who they are, and they catch it on. It ain't no greater feeling than that. You know what I mean? I had that feeling like that several times. But one of my big ones that I really am I don't want to say emotional over, but it really sticks to me still to this day is Prodigy Rain. He go by Prince Zilla now. Because I had a direct involvement in him doing music and sticking to it. It was like he came to me at a moment and said, "Is this dope? Is this good?" I could have been like, "That's all right. Yeah, it's cool. It's da-da-da." But I was like, it actually was dope. It actually was, he had rhymes. This is when I used to work at the group home. He had rhymes that he wrote that he left there. The rhymes was so dope that when he left, people was coming in, finding them in the drawer, and then acting like they was the one who wrote it. And they would learn them and then rap them to everybody else. It went on for like the whole rest of that year. I'm like, them are not your, I don't even know. I was like, I should have just took them. I probably should have took them and laminated them or something, but I wasn't even thinking.
Yeah.
And show him today, like, look, remember these? Because he wrote them, just left them. I guess he probably memorized them and kept it pushing.
Right.
But if you have an opportunity to speak something to somebody, especially somebody young's life, and they continue to move on and continue to grow from it, it's just like, I don't know, it's no other kind of feeling. It's really, in that moment, you're just doing it for that child. But when they come back as an adult and then just tell you, like, look, man, I really appreciate when you said this, and I'm glad that I remembered. Sometimes you have so many conversations with people, you don't remember something that was like a piece of your day, but it was something that was very big in their life, and it helped them move on, and carry on or whatever. So yeah, that was So big up once again to Elements, Archwave, because they funded and made sure people got paid. So
yeah, that's what's up.
Definitely, and they do a lot of stuff with different arts in the city too. I just kind of got hip to them, this past week. So Archwave.
We're gonna have to get somebody from down there to come speak on it, man.
Yeah,
one of these shows, man. So that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
that's about to happen. That's coming to you soon, man.
For sure. Yeah.
Get into some news, man. We ain't even say what this is not. This is Nomtombout Radio, did we?
We sure didn't.
Man, this is Nomtombout Radio, man, on 91.7 WVXU HD2, or you're streaming us live on Radio Artifact, ticket.com.
Word up.
Yeah, man. This week, I think this is another one of them things where putting somebody on a pedestal goes too far. It's happened in my personal life. I self-sabotage every time I'm trying to holler at a female. But this is a little bit different right here, man. This past week, man. Erykah Badu. Did you hear about what happened?
No.
Erykah Badu, man. You might know her from songs like On and On. She has a legacy of getting pregnant by some of the greatest MCs on earth, such as Andre 3000, man. I think she also has a baby by the DOC. She was dating Jay Electronica, another. She's always with a God MC type. This past week, she launched an online fragrance. She just released a perfume. Did you not hear about this?
I seem like I heard something like that in the works, but let me see if it's what you about to say.
It is a fragrance that smells like her vagina.
Yeah, I heard about that last year. That it was coming.
They sold out in under 19 minutes of it being released. How?
Wow.
And do you know that it has? They said they burned her panties and put the ashes in the fragrance. And Erykah Badu is one of them vibey. She like natural onyx. So they know about energy,
right?
And for her to be like, let's burn my panties and put some of the ashes in the fragrance,
right?
She's thinking about this in a totally different way. Like my essence is spread amongst the world. She's thinking in like, I think she's thinking like this. This is almost like a domination tactic,
right?
Because you don't even know that she's part of your vibe now, but like she's the one who's gonna think about that.
That's crazy. And you know what? That probably came from somebody. She was probably sitting somewhere having a conversation, and they was like, "Girl, you probably get such and such and such. Yo, you can sell. You know what I mean, or whatever."
And she probably like, "I'm gonna try that."
Why not?
But that's like voodoo.
Oh yeah.
Because you know the voodoo thing is they say like a love what do they call it in voodoo? Like not a spell, but like
like a
love spell.
Spell.
Might be putting
casting a spell on
some of a woman's menstrual blood and baking it in a cake to make a man fall in love with you because you're digesting her essence. What?
I remember someone asking if that happened to me, and not because I was so in love with a person, but when it was like I was being, and this is quote that I just seen on earlier that was posted on Facebook about this guy was saying something about it was his ex-wife's birthday and he brought some flowers to the house. Helped his children fix their breakfast or whatever, and then somebody was saying, why would you do that? He was like, because I want my two boys to understand that even though you're not with whoever you may be with, you should still be respectful. He want to show them how to treat the mother. I said, so hopefully if you're in a situation where that's palatable and you can do that, it's not a bad breakup, then you should be able to, that's something I'm all for being platonic and really still being family with your exes or whatever. But at a certain point in time, when things were really bad, and people was like, "Why are you still so nice?" She must have put something in your whatever. I'm like, nah. But that's the whole reason why I was trying to do that. Then was I don't want my daughters to see me being angry or back and forth with their mom. Even though we were having such a difficult time, I still wanted to try to lead with some type of dignity and then some type of love for the fact that we brought these beautiful children into the world. Yeah. So my thing wasn't never, I'm zombied and I can't not get away from this person. I'm so in love. Nah, I could get away. I could step off easy with anybody. But the connection, there's still a connection there. So I'm trying to make sure that the connection doesn't get clipped in a certain way, so that I don't have a bad experience with me and my children for the rest of their
set off a butterfly
life.
effect.
Yeah. So
you see later in life. Man.
Yeah, but I've heard, I heard they, people have, and I've always felt like, well, your power got to be more powerful than me for you to get me. And I ain't met nobody that's more powerful than me in terms of dealing with them in a relationship, like, to whereas, cause when they, you know what I mean, it's just like, if that was the case, I would be doing everything you want me to do. There wouldn't be no problems. I'd just be like, whatever you want, D.
Yeah.
Whatever you.
That's the zombie.
Yeah.
That's a zombie.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Erykah Badu. She got that mystique about her where I feel like it just intrigued people. Yeah. And I feel like I know how she got her kids' fathers, because I seen her in one interview, and they asked her, like, what do you think it is about you that men like so much? And she was like, when they talk, I just listen. Mm-hmm. Imagine that. Mm-hmm. You gonna fall in love with that? You gonna be like, what? Mm-hmm. Like, she's a therapist, right? And that's another way she get in people's mind, because she not reciprocating no feelings about herself. Right. That's the thing about that. She's just listening, so that means she's not really giving nothing back personal, where you could bring it up against her later. Right. Like, I'm just listening. I'm just soak up everything you say. Right. And because I got this aura, you think I care, but she just collecting evidence. Oh God, man! Hey, Erykah Badu is I feel like she a vagina witch. I feel like she got that weird vibe to her, like. Right. Man, I seen her in one interview. She was talking all that mystical stuff, and then she was just like, yeah. So what I'm basically saying is, bitch, better have my money. When she was talking about the child support. Nah, she regular behind that allure, bro.
Definitely, man. Yeah. Definitely.
Hey, we got to take down that time, too. This is going to be an edited show right here.
Definitely, because you know what? We all human, bro.
We all human.
You know what I'm saying? So, you figure out, like, even when she first started, like, there was a certain way that she was coming with the hair wraps and a certain earthly vibe that she was coming with.
The earthly chicks be on.
And then you figure out that, okay, this is work. Because if it didn't work and it didn't feel right to her, she might have just switched up and went somewhere else with it. Not because of the public, but if it wasn't working for her, she would be like, okay, now I'm moving on into this realm or whatever. But I definitely think that I always thought she was a beautiful woman, but
pork chop thing.
I didn't think that like when let me not be disrespectful, not to her but the people that she was getting with, I wasn't in their art. I was impressed with. But I'm like, he's not really a looker. So compared to her, so what you have is a situation where she has the upper hand. She knows that, you know what I'm saying? About the one that was closest to her, and if you would say, like, in, not saying that but my man, the
DOC?
That's a handsome bruh. Comma's a handsome bruh, and Andre.
I forgot about Kama.
Andre 3000 is a handsome dude, but back then, I'm saying the self, them feel like they noticing themselves that way. The confidence, not saying that but Andre was real quiet back then.
I feel like it show a lot about
real meek and all that.
She's a predator.
But my man, especially with my man, the last one that ain't never dropped the album, but he's supposed to be so great.
Jay Electronica, he about to drop an album now. This year,
that's
11 years later.
That's a strange looking brother.
Yeah, she like them dudes who know how to use them words, man. Mm-hmm. I feel like because she's a master of vibe, and she choose people who matter. But I feel like she choose, after looking at really like Andre and Common, choose guys that may come off high level, but they deal with self-esteem issues probably. Because you could tell with Andre, Common got that weird vibe, like he might deal with self-esteem. I still feel like, excuse me for saying this, man, I know he down with the Bond Hill crew and everything from back in the day. I feel like Common is slightly not all there. Does he ever give you that vibe? You're like, man, is he autistic? I'm not trying to be offensive to autistic.
I know what you're saying. I get something from
his cadence, the way he talk. it's a drag to it.
It's,
almost
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that's why he's so attractive to so many women, because they like, oh, he's a blank palette. He seems like he could be easily molded by this game, this vagina game. Like, because he don't seem all the way there. He seemed like the one chicks just sit back and just drink lemonade and be like, yo, he's gonna build me a house or something. Like,
I know what you're talking about. It's like something you really can't put your finger on. Cause I know he's an intelligent dude, very talented and all that, but there is this it's this one little I don't know if it's innocence to him or what it is, but it's something different there that, like you say, I can see I can see that, you know, somebody attaching to or whatever as far as what he gives off. Now,
he might used to wear a helmet.
I ain't said all that, but
that a certain insurance company paid for, because it's like, Common got to have his helmet. We got to go get him resized, because you know he about to go to 6th grade and he can't go to 6th grade with the same helmet from last year. Like, man, it's something about Common that ain't right, man. Sorry, Common, bruh.
You saying something about him that's not common.
It's something very uncommon.
Word, okay.
I feel like, I don't know, man. It's the way he talks sometimes. It just be like, it's like he glitching in front of you. Like, he do that a lot. Maybe it's the Chicago thing, because Kanye do that too.
I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't ever look at it like that though, but I know the it that you're talking about that he does. Yeah.
It's weird, man. It's weird, man.
Yeah.
He definitely used to have 2 recesses, 2 lunges, and a nap period. It's all right, man. I hope I ain't ruined my chances of working with Common.
You just did, but
bro, because I had to learn, like, man, so I used to just say wild stuff about people who was like in the spotlight, and now I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, man, you're gonna end up working. You're gonna have to end up working with these people one day. But I don't know, man. That's just how I feel about Common, man. I'm not trying to be offensive, but he know what I'm talking about. I'm sure he be like, man, something just ain't right about me. When he be in the mirror, he be like, he does it in a rap song.
He done had some bad women though, bro.
He done had some bad women, because I feel like they like, he can keep a secret because he not all the way there. Like, I feel like that's how they look at him. Like, man, something ain't right about him, so I know he ain't gonna tell nobody. Like, explain this. Thick it thigh, thick it thigh, thick it thigh, thick it the thighs. Girl, I tell you the rest when I see you. Peace. He ended a verse like that. What does that mean?
I can't answer it for him, but what I took from it was, because I don't know if he's ever. I never seen an interview where he said, "Why did you do that?" Because
nobody ever asked him.
I was thinking it was like, you get writer's block, and you don't come up with a line. You just say, how when you
just fill a space.
When you're getting your cadence down, so you kind of like trying to figure out what the next line gonna be. Say, I tell you the rest when I see you. And somebody was like, you probably should just leave it like that. Just do what? Just for conversational purposes. Like, why? That's like right now we talking about it.
Why? If anybody know the song, there are times when you need someone. On that song, he ended the verse saying, thick thigh, thick thigh, thick thigh. Girl, I think he had a beard bone. He definitely had to have a beard bone to say that part. It was drool coming out the left side of his mouth. But he just left it. You don't get a space filler mixed and mastered. The people at the label probably was like, no, Common, but what's this part right here? You have to finish it. And you have to do a full 16. That was 14. You still have 2 counts left. And he's just like, nah, but I'm going to leave it like that. I know somebody at the label was like, man, what is this?
I'm sure.
I think we should have a conversation about that, man. If anybody could tell us what Common meant by thick it thigh, thick it thigh, thick it the thigh, girl, I'll tell you the rest when I see you. Please hit us up on Facebook at Nomtombout, NOMTOMBOUT. Or hit us up on Instagram, Nomtombout_radio. We want to know what your interpretation of that lyric right there is. Because I always wonder about that. Whenever I see Common, I'll be like, man, I wonder what that meant. Whenever I see him doing anything, he could be in a movie, and I just be like, man, he need to explain that before we move. You ain't just gonna skip over that. Like,
I would look that up, see if it's somewhere where he explained it. Cause I know it's been asked before. I remember like being asked before, or somebody saying something about it, but I can't remember what he said.
It's probably something deep, and I'm up here trashing. Like,
I think it was more so like he didn't know what the line was gonna be, but when you do something, it's like, oh, that was kind of catchy though. Just leave it like that. That's what I think of, something as simple as that though, for real. But I'm gonna look that up and see what if there was somebody asked him about that and he gave an answer, because it seemed like that's what he said.
That's a big gamble, man.
I'm trying to think of another song where somebody did something like that and they just left.
Kanye does it all the time. Kanye have like 4 bars where he just was making sounds just to get into the.
I mean, somebody
part.
who made a living off of it was like James Brown.
Yeah, but it was more of a feeling. It jumped out of his body onto the record. This just be sounding like, I don't know what I was gonna say there, so we gonna come back to that.
Involvement in him doing music and sticking to it. It was like he came to me at a moment and said, "Is this dope? Is this good?" I could have been like, "That's all right. Yeah, it's cool." But I was like, it actually was dope. It actually was, he had rhymes. This is when I used to work at the group home. He had rhymes that he wrote that he left there. The rhymes were so dope that when he left, people was coming in, finding them in the drawer, and then acting like they was the one who wrote it. And they would learn them and then rap them to everybody else. It went on for like the whole rest of that year. I'm like, them are not your, I don't even know. I was like, I should have just took them. I probably should have took them and laminated them on something, but I wasn't even thinking.
Yeah.
And show him today, like, look, remember these? Because he wrote them, just left them. I guess he probably memorized them and kept it pushing.
Right.
But if you have an opportunity to speak something to somebody, especially somebody young's life, and they continue to move on and continue to grow from it, it's just like, I don't know, it's no other kind of feeling. It's really, in that moment, you're just doing it for that child. But when they come back as an adult and then just tell you, like, look, man, I really appreciate when you said this, and I'm glad that I remembered. Sometimes you have so many conversations with people, you don't remember something that was like a piece of your day, but it was something that was very big in their life, and it helped them move on, and carry on or whatever. So yeah, that was So big up once again to Elements, Archwave, because they funded and made sure people got paid. So
hey, that's what's up.
Definitely, and they do a lot of stuff with different arts in the city too. I just kind of got hip to them, this past week. So Archwave.
We're gonna have to get somebody from down there to come speak on it, man.
Yeah,
one of these shows, man. So that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
that's about to happen. That's coming to you soon, man.
For sure. Yeah.
Get into some news, man. We ain't even say what this is. Now I'm talking about radio, did we?
We sure didn't.
Man, this is Now I'm Talking About Radio, man, on 91.7 WVXU, HD2, or you're streaming us live on Radio Artifact, ticket.com.
Word up.
Yeah, man. This week, I think this is another one of them things where putting somebody on a pedestal goes too far. It's happened in my personal life. I self-sabotage every time I'm trying to holler at a female. But this is a little bit different right here, man. This past week, man. Erykah Badu. Did you hear about what happened?
No.
Erykah Badu, man. You might know her from songs like On and On. She has a legacy of getting pregnant by some of the greatest MCs on earth, such as Andre 3000, man. I think she also has a baby by the DOC. She was dating Jay Electronica. She's always with a God MC type. This past week, she launched online fragrance. She just released a perfume. Did you not hear about this?
I seem like I heard something like that in the works, but let me see if it's what you about to say.
It is a fragrance that smells like her vagina.
Yeah, I heard about that last year. That it was coming.
They sold out in under 19 minutes of it being released. How?
Wow.
And do you know that it has? They said they burned her panties and put the ashes in the fragrance. And Erykah Badu is one of them vibey. She like natural onyx.
Mm-hmm.
So they know about energy,
right?
And for her to be like, let's burn my panties and put some of the ashes in the fragrance,
right?
She's thinking about this in a totally different way.
Mm-hmm.
Like my essence is spread amongst the world. She's thinking in like, I think she's thinking like this. This is almost like a domination tactic,
right?
Because you don't even know that she's part of your vibe now, but like she's the one who's gonna think about that.
That's crazy. And you know what? That probably came from. Somebody she was probably sitting somewhere having a conversation, and they was like, "Girl, you probably get such and such and such. Yo, you can sell, you know what I mean, or whatever."
And she probably like, "I'm gonna try that."
Why not?
But that's like voodoo.
Oh yeah.
Because you know the voodoo thing is, they say like a love, what do they call it in voodoo? Like not a spell, but like
like a
love spell.
Yeah, spell.
Might be putting
casting a spell on.
Some of a woman's menstrual blood and baking it in a cake to make a man fall in love with you because you're digesting her essence. What?
I remember someone asking if that happened to me, and not because I was so in love with a person, but when it was like I was being. And this is quote that I just seen on earlier that was posted on Facebook about this guy was saying something about it was his ex-wife's birthday and he brought some flowers to the house, helped his children fix their breakfast or whatever, and then somebody was saying, why would you do that? He was like, because I want my two boys to understand that even though you're not with whoever you may be with, you should still be respectful. He want to show them how to treat the mother. I said, so hopefully if you're in a situation where that's palatable, and you can do that, it's not a bad breakup, then you should be able to, that's something I'm all for being platonic and really still being family with your exes or whatever. But at a certain point in time, when things were really bad and people was like, why you still so nice? She must have put something in your whatever. I'm like, nah, but that's the whole reason why I was trying to do that then was I don't want my daughters to see me being angry or back and forth with their mom. Even though we were having such a difficult time, I still wanted to try to lead with some type of dignity and then some type of love for the fact that we brought these beautiful children into the world. Yeah. So my thing wasn't never, I'm zombied and I can't not get away from this person. I'm so in love. Nah, I could get away. I could step off easy with anybody, but the connection, there's still a connection there, so I'm trying to make sure that the connection doesn't get clipped in a certain way, so that I don't have a bad experience with me and my children for the rest of their life.
Set off a butterfly effect.
Yeah.
So you see later in life. Man.
Yeah, but I've heard, I heard they, people have, and I've always felt like, well, your power got to be more powerful than me for you to get me, and I ain't met nobody that's more powerful than me in terms of dealing with them in a relationship, like to whereas, cause when they, you know what I mean, it's just like, if that was the case, I would be doing everything you want me to do. Yeah, there wouldn't be no problems. I'd just be like, whatever you want, D. Yeah. Whatever you.
That's the zombie.
Yeah.
That's a zombie.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Erykah Badu. She got that mystique about her where I feel like it just intrigued people. Yeah. And I feel like I know how she got her kids. Fathers, because I seen her in one interview, and they asked her like, "What do you think it is about you that men like so much?" And she was like, "When they talk, I just listen." Imagine that. You gonna fall in love with that? You gonna be like, "What?" Like she's a therapist,
right?
And that's another way she get in people's mind because she's not reciprocating no feelings about herself,
right?
That's the thing about that. She's just listening, so that means she's not really giving nothing back personal, where you could bring it up against her later,
right?
Like, I'm just listening. I'm just soak up everything you say,
right? And
because I got this aura, you think I care, but she just collecting evidence. Oh God, man! Hey, Erykah Badu is I feel like she a vagina. She a vagina witch. I feel like she got that weird vibe to her, like.
Right.
Man, I seen her in one interview. She was talking all that mystical stuff, and then she was just like, Yeah, so what I'm basically saying is, bitch better have my money. When she was talking about the child support.
Uh-huh.
Man, nah, she regular behind that allure, bruh.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Hey, we got to take down that time, too. This is going to be an edited show right here.
Definitely, because you know what? We all human, bro.
We all human.
You know what I'm saying? So you figure out you like, even when she first started, like, there was a certain way that she was coming with the hair wraps and a certain earthly vibe that she was coming with.
The earthly chicks be on.
And then you figure out that, okay, this is work. Because if it didn't work and it didn't feel right to her, she might have just switched up and went somewhere else with it. Not because of the public, but if it wasn't working for her, she would be like, okay, now I'm moving on to this realm or whatever. But I definitely think that I always thought she was a beautiful woman, but
pork chop.
I didn't think that like when let me not be disrespectful, not to her, but the people that she was getting with, I wasn't in their art. I was impressed with. But I'm like, he's not really a looker. So compared to her, so what you have is a situation where she has the upper hand. She knows that, okay. You know what I'm saying? About the one that was closest to her, and if you would say like in not saying that but my man, the
DOC.
That's a handsome bruh. Common's a handsome bruh, and Andre.
I forgot about Common.
Andre's a handsome. Andre 3000 is a handsome dude, but back then, I'm saying the self note them feel like they noticing themselves that way. The confidence. Not saying that there was, but Andre was real quiet back then.
I feel like it show a lot about
real meek and all that.
She's a predator.
But my man, especially with my man, the last one that ain't never dropped the album, but he's supposed to be so great.
Jay Electronica, he about to drop an album now. This year,
that's
11 years later.
That's a strange looking brother.
Yeah, she like them dudes who know how to use them words, man. Mm-hmm. I feel like because she a master of vibe, and she choose people who matter. But I feel like she choose, after looking at really like Andre and Common, choose guys that may come off high level, but they deal with self-esteem issues probably. Because you could tell with Andre. Common got that weird vibe, like he might deal with self-esteem. I still feel like, excuse me for saying this, man, I know he down with the Bond Hill crew and everything from back in the day. I feel like Common is slightly not all there. Does he ever give you that vibe? You're like, man, is he autistic? I'm not trying to be offensive to autistic.
I know what you're saying. I get something from
his cadence, the way he talk. It's a drag to it. Yeah. So I feel like that's why he's so attractive to so many women, because they like, oh, he's a blank palette. He seems like he could be easily molded by this game, this vagina game. Like, because he don't seem all the way there. He seemed like the one chicks just sit back and just drink lemonade and be like, yo, he's gonna build me a house or something. Like,
I know what you're talking about. It's like something you really can't put your finger on. Because I know he's an intelligent dude, very talented, and all that. But there is this one little. I don't know if it's innocence to him or what it is, but it's something different there that, like you saying, I can see. I can see that, somebody attaching to or whatever. As far as what he gives off. Now,
he might used to wear a helmet.
I ain't said all that, but.
That a certain insurance company paid for, because it's like, Common got to have his helmet. We got to go get him resized, because he about to go to 6th grade, and he can't go to 6th grade with the same helmet from last year. Like, man, it's something about Common that ain't right, man. Sorry, Common, bruh.
You saying something about him that's not common.
It's something very uncommon.
Word, okay.
I feel like, I don't know, man. It's the way he talks sometimes. It just be like, it's like he glitching in front of you. Like, he do that a lot. Maybe it's the Chicago thing, because Kanye do that too.
I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't ever look at it like that though, but I know the it that you're talking about that he does. Yeah.
That's weird, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely used to have 2 recesses, 2 lunges, and a nap period. Dang, man, I hope I ain't ruined my chances of working with Common.
You just did, but
bro, because I had to learn, like, man, so I used to just say wild stuff about people who was like in the spotlight, and now I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, man, you gonna end up working. You gonna have to end up working with these people one day. But I don't know, man. That's just how I feel about Common, man. I'm not trying to be offensive, but he know what I'm talking about. I'm sure he be like, man, something just ain't right about me. When he be in the mirror, he be like, he does it in a rap song.
He done had some bad women though, bro.
He done had some bad women because I feel like they like he can keep a secret because he not all the way there. Like, I feel like that's how they look at him. Like,
right.
Man, something ain't right about him, so I know he ain't gonna tell nobody. Like, explain this. Thick it thigh, thick it thigh, thick it thigh, thick it the thighs. Girl, I tell you the rest when I see you. Peace. He ended a verse like that. What does that mean?
I can't answer it for him, but what I took from it was, because I don't know if he's ever. I never seen an interview where he said, "Why did you do that?" Because
nobody ever asked him.
I was thinking it was like, you get writer's block, and you don't come up with a line. You just say, how when you
just fill a space.
When you're getting your cadence down, so you kind of like trying to figure out what the next line gonna be. Say, I tell you the rest when I see you. And somebody was like, you probably should just leave it like that. Just do what? Just for conversational purposes. Like, why? That's like right now we talking about it.
Why? If anybody know the song, there are times when you need someone. On that song, he ended the verse saying, thick thigh, thick thigh, thick thigh. Girl, I think he had a beard bone. He definitely had to have a beard bone to say that part. It was drool coming out the left side of his mouth. But he just left it. You don't get a space filler mixed and mastered. The people at the label probably was like, no Common, but what's this part right here? You have to finish it. And you have to do a full 16. That was 14. You still have 2 counts left. And he's just like, nah, but I'm going to leave it like that. I know somebody at the label was like, man, what is this?
I'm sure.
I think we should have a conversation about that, man. If anybody could tell us what Common meant by thicker thigh, thicker thigh, thicker the thigh, girl, I'll tell you the rest when I see you. Please hit us up on Facebook at Nomtombout, NOMTOMBOUT. Or hit us up on Instagram, Nomtombout _radio. We want to know what your interpretation of that lyric right there is. Because I always wonder about that. Whenever I see Common, I be like, man, I wonder what that meant. Whenever I see him doing anything, he could be in a movie, and I just be like, man, he need to explain that before we move. You ain't just going to skip over that. Like,
I'm going to look that up, see if it's somewhere where he explained that. Because I know it's been asked before. I remember like being asked before or somebody saying something about it, but I can't remember what he said.
It's probably something deep, and I'm up here trashing. Like,
I think it was more so like he didn't know what the line was going to be, but when you do something, it's like, oh, that was kind of catchy, though. Just leave it like that. That's what I think of, something as simple as that, though, for real. But I'm going to look that up and see what if there was somebody asked him about that and he gave an answer. Because it seemed like that's what he said.
That's a big gamble, man.
I'm trying to think of another song where somebody did something like that and they just left.
Kanye does it all the time. Kanye have like 4 bars where he just was making sounds just to get into the next
somebody
part.
who made a living off of it was like James Brown.
Yeah, but it was more of a feeling. It jumped out of his body onto the record. This just be sounding like, I don't know what I was gonna say there, so we gonna come back to that. It don't even have the feeling. Like,
right.
I don't know, man.
So to a lesser extent, maybe that's what was going on. I remember with somebody. I was in a car with this brother who was an OG guitar player. Them played for Babyface, The Deal, different people live. Never really in the groups, but kind of come in and do live sessions and stuff like that. And this was like in 2000, and he really was. I credit this guy for helping me figure out the whole MIDI situation and just giving me a couple little key, little simple bits of information that just opened up a world to me in terms of, because I was just starting to really get serious with producing and stuff. I just started getting equipment and stuff like that. But we were driving out to this studio to work on the some Watusi stuff, and he was riding with me. He was like, I was listening to like Water for Chocolate, Common's album, one of his most acclaimed albums.
Album though.
We vibing. I'm like, he gonna like this because it got it's the root. I mean, it's Questlove and the Soul Aquariums. They are playing live on this. He gonna dig this, right? I know he is because it's in the pocket. It's whatever. Well, we get out there. He was like, we got about 6 songs in. He was like, who is this? I was like, it's a Common. I'm thinking about to say he digging it, right? He was like, you like this? I was like, yeah. This what everybody listens to. I was like, not every, certain people who like conscious whatever. I try to give him the little, cause he ain't really know what was up with rap or whatever. But he was like, I don't know, it ain't doing nothing for me. It's kind of boring. It just kind of stay the same. I was like, I had to stop, make sure I had to check myself not to get offended, because I was about to be like,
this is real famous groups,
I ain't gonna speak behind. I can't speak up for these, they own people or whatever. He got it right down, but he's used to the chord changes and breakdowns and bridges and builds up live stuff. And I'm like, they're a live band that's playing this for it. That's a live band that's playing for it. They just standing up. Yeah, this is like it's just like a stand in the pocket vibe. It's like, jazzy type thing. He's like, okay, I guess so. It was a couple songs that he liked because he had some different stuff going through it, but he was just like, he was thumbs down.
That's like Skip to My Lou. Remember how hard it was for Skip to My Lou to play NBA ball?
Yeah.
It's like I'm so talented. I spend so much time I know how to do a lot of stuff with this ball, but you just want me to do the boring, just run up and down the court.
Right.
He got a couple what was it, technicals, because he did the skip in the game and he had forgot he wasn't on street ball no more.
Oh, I didn't know he got no text for it.
Skip to My Lou is a guy who was on And1 street basketball mixtapes back in the day, where you would do all these crazy moves with the ball, you bounce off somebody back, and then it just ridiculous moves, and Skip to My Lou ended up going to the league, and he would get, maybe it wasn't fouls, but he would definitely get calls from the ref.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was breaking the rules, because he was still in the street ball mode.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Man, you a creative, man. Like, you know who Jay is that play with Skills, the drummer?
Yeah.
Skills be having to tell him a lot of times, like, nah, bro, just don't start, what they call it? Don't start doing, like, multis and stuff like that, man. Just play in the pocket.
Right.
Like, he's so skilled. That's just like, that's so boring.
Right.
You do so much more.
Right.
When you feel like somebody trying to hold you back, you're like, oh, you don't want me to shine?
Right.
Because I can shine.
Right. Right.
That's just part of being a creator, man.
Mm-hmm. It's just, you got to let them shine when at certain points. Like, while I'm singing or rapping, just keep it in the pocket for me, bro. Then you're going to get your spot. The light going to be on you if you want it, all that. Then you can do all that. It's just like, if I'm rapping, you not rapping. I got the first verse, you got the second verse. You know what I'm saying? Same way with the music. Like, if you got a whole live band there, the bass gonna have his part where he's running things. The drums gonna have his part. The keyboard. If you got horn section or whatever, everybody just. And if you not, you step out. Here I is. Back into the flow of everything. That's just how it is.
I never understood that, man. If you go back to some of my early recording sessions, it's so much happening. Because I just wanted. It's 15 tracks, 8 tracks of backgrounds. It's just like, bruh, it's a lot, but it's like, no, that gotta be in there, man. It's working together. Like, it'd be so thick, and for the person who mixing it's just like, nah, but you don't understand. You don't understand, bruh. It's too much vibes.
Mm-hmm.
So, anytime you can add structure to life, you created a job, and you can get paid for that.
Right.
Because that'd be the hard part. Anybody who adds structure, look at Uber and Lyft.
Right.
The person who started Uber and Lyft, they don't own a car, they don't own a warehouse, but they was just like, oh, we see that old man with that old broke down station wagon. What he be doing? He be taking old people home from. They used to sit in front of Kroger. They stole that idea from the bootleg man and just added structure to it. We're going to make it so everybody can get paid in a fair way, and it became millionaires. And then told the people who was originally doing, your car too old to do it. Like, if you can add structure to something you see people naturally doing, you can get millions. Yeah. You pretty much you create technology.
Yeah.
Like,
that's some genius stuff, man.
It's genius.
All that stuff. The you know, you got the Uber and Uber Eats. You got the DoorDash.
They don't own one car, bro. They just now getting to the point where like you can rent cars from them, but I don't know how they do it. But like when they first started up, they didn't own a car. You're working for them and you bringing your own supplies to work.
They basically just like a middleman.
They're a middleman. They get you the licks. The middleman always collect a lot of money too, man.
Sitting from wherever they sitting at, chilling.
If you can connect a buyer with a seller.
DoorDash, I see, you know, when I'm checking on that, they in Cali. All over getting a piece of my money. You know what I'm saying?
Doing something extravagant what they like. I don't even eat pizza. I don't even eat restaurant food, man. You know, I know this show is jumping, but I think people like it when it just flow like that. Do you know Beverly Hills? It's no fast food restaurants.
Right.
They don't even feed the people there that because they worth so much money. It's just like, nah, bro. It's no restaurants.
No restaurants at all.
If you go to California and go to Beverly Hills, they don't even have
They don't even got the
electric poles.
Electric poles and
above ground.
Yeah.
They run below ground because they like, nah, it just gotta have the aesthetic. It's gotta look a certain way. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah.
Man, you made me feel like going back out there now.
It's such a vibe.
Oh, shout out to our DJ. He out there too.
Yeah, I seen him out there with his feet in the sand, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad he could get better before that trip, man, because that would have been a trash trip. Had my back messed up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Shout out to Classic K right out there, man, soaking up that California vibe. I gotta get back out there, bro. It's a certain. I feel like I could find the certain spot on Sunset where I was, where I just looked up and was like, man, this shit is beautiful, bro. Like. It's right there by that pink hotel. It's right by a road to go up where it was like residential. But I just looked up. It's like, man, I got to get back out there.
Yeah. Because it's so dope to be out there and then to not be known. Like the brother that, you know, they invaded his crib last week and killed him.
Pop Smoke, the rapper.
It's like when you go out there, it's like, they got gang violence out here? Like, for real? Oh, this is y'all hood? This beautiful place right here? This is the hood? You can get confused. So if you out there unbeknownst to where you at and who you need to not be dealing with or coming out a certain way, like going out there just being an anonymous tourist, oh, man, I loved it.
Yeah,
I was going everywhere. I know you was going everywhere. Nobody paying no attention. Right. Nobody paying attention to me.
I Ubered the most I ever Ubered in my life, bro. Just seeing stuff like, I can't see how somebody would just be like, man, I'm going to shoot you right next to this palm tree. Man.
Right.
You can't shoot nobody by. You can't be violent next to a palm tree.
Right.
But obviously you can.
Yeah. It was it was dope. And I know you connected with people when you was out there. I connected with somebody and ended up becoming cool with this dude because we shared an Uber. And the Uber driver put my album in the whole time we was driving. We listening to Maturation and Lil Ronnie.
We gotta go back out there as a team.
Yeah.
Get some work done.
Yeah.
Bro. It was an open mic that was there. I got there on a Monday and didn't get to go to the open mic. The open mic is the same night. It's on a Monday. But like I looked up the YouTube about it and like it'd be a nice crowd out there. Like it's so many creatives that it's stuff for creatives to do. And instead of it just being more creatives that you performing in front of, it's an actual audience.
It's an audience for it, man. I'll try to get to one too, but the place that I could figure out to go, they didn't have the setup I would have needed because I had my music on my drive, and they wasn't set up for, like, it wasn't really a DJ at this particular place. They was just gonna like try to what did they say? Plug into the phone or something like that.
Plug and play type.
Something like that, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want my phone, cause my phone that get the beep. You got
to put it on airplane mode or turn the data off. Turn the data off.
Oh, I ain't know that. See,
Yeah, if
I
you
didn't
put it
know
on
that.
airplane mode, no calls or nothing.
Yeah,
So you just turn the data off. You can't get no phone calls, and you just play straight from your playlist. And stuff.
Oh, see, I ain't know that.
Yeah, bro, man, we gotta go.
I didn't even know that.
We gotta go.
I didn't even know that, but yeah, okay.
Cause it's like
That
all
would have
it
been
takes
dope.
is one thing to happen. I still got people who like stuff from out there, man. A guy who drove a lift for me. It was a guy who he went out there to be a comedian. He ended up getting he had one of the pizza spots that was on Hollywood Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
Linked up with him. He would film a lot of skits out of his pizza spot. It's just like everybody there is got a common goal in mind. We all creatives.
Right.
We trying to do what we do full time.
Right.
And here you just don't have that, man. You just got a lot of people who just settled into life and just like, nah, but this is my job. This is what I do. Like, and you need that everywhere, but
it's just like piecing it out though, like not spending 12 hours at a gig. You know what I'm saying? If you got to go somewhere, you know, to work or whatever, then if you could just figure out how to piece everything together. But a lot of people don't know the other things to do to piece, the other creative things to do to piece together to get the income or sustain the income or whatever. But the main thing is like you won't be able to do it if you stop doing whatever you created at. Yeah, you keep working, but as long as you don't stop, opportunities will come because people seeing you do. You know what I'm saying? Like last week we was in there doing an interview, and while we were in here interviewing our guests, I got booked for 2 shows sitting here while we was on the air. But that was because I was doing something else. Yeah. That person knows me from doing something else, or I did this, or I just got finished doing this, and you know it's just a continuation. That's why I tell you when I was at the MRC last month doing the rap class, the kids was saying, how do you get shows and how you do this? You know, I said, well, you know, how do you get more shows? Like I did this, I've done this. I said, you just gotta like, if you go to an open mic or if you go somewhere and you perform this, a lot of times there's somebody else in that crowd that's got an event coming up and you fit that event that's coming up. But then I said, now your first 20, 30 to 100 shows, young as you are, it might be free, but you got to expect that because you got to get yourself to a point where you doing something that people can feel like that's your niche and that I want to come see this person do this particular thing, not something that it's a common thing. You got to figure out who you are as an artist so that you're doing something that nobody else does or you're doing something to an extent that another person doesn't do. And then getting that under your belt, then the money and stuff will start coming eventually, but you gotta work on your craft and be serious about what it is that you're doing. You can't just come jump into it and think, oh, this is what it's supposed to be because that's what the other person's doing. Nah, you just gotta have a lot of people get into it and they got a 5-year plan. You can throw that out the window. Yeah. You can have a 5-year plan if you want, but what's your contingency plan if that don't work? Do you quit? Or do you, because that lets you know if this is just a hustle you're trying to do or if this is something that's a part of you.
That's going to be with you forever.
Yeah. So it's a lot of people that's very talented that they got into doing music or whatever, and when things didn't pop, they stopped. Now, some of those people, they coming back around. Like some people that I do music with, they coming back. Mm-hmm. Putting out product and all that or whatever, and it's like, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's in you, it's gonna have to come back out eventually at some point in time. You gotta let it loose. Yeah, for real.
I was thinking about this the other day, like, cause I feel like I be waiting. A lot of times I'm waiting for the right moment, and it's never gonna be the right moment.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So it's this. I feel like I'm saying this because I don't care. I'll be vulnerable because I know that other people feel that way. Like the jumping off point of like when to go ahead and just leap out on faith and just be like, man, I'm either gonna win by this or I'm gonna fail by this. But I gotta do it because it's killing me not doing it. Mm-hmm. What if you could do it today? What move would you make today that you feel like will put you in a better position if you didn't think about no obstacles and you was just like, I know if I do this, it'll set me up to do these next steps, these mini goals to get to my grand goal. which for you is being an artist or just wherever you want to take, like not factoring in fear, not factoring in money, not factoring in any obligation. If you was just real with yourself and was just like, this is the move that I need to make to be able to put myself in a better place, what would that be?
Ooh, I think mine would be, it would be a 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm trying to think if it would be a 3-way thing or a 2-way situation to where it would involve because I always envision me jumping off by coming through the side door, never getting signed to a major label, and then they putting all these marketing dollars behind me, getting me on a radio station and doing this. It was always having enough material, which that's what I'm doing that part of it. Having enough different type of material to where I could step into the game by touring. I really want to tour. I really want to get in front of the people. I feel like I'm the type of artist, if I'm able to get in front of the people, then I could garner my audience, a bigger audience, and so getting on like festival tours all around the country and then all around the world.
Because if you can collect 200 to 300 people in 80 cities, that's a tour.
Yeah,
you can live off that.
Yeah,
especially if you get that first push from something. It always happens with like an angel investor or somebody just invest in your tour, give you the money, give you the buzz, give you all that. Like, what would that? I know for me, mine, I would have to move. I would have to move somewhere where it's more creative people that think like me and just more opportunity. And from there, I see myself getting on a writing team, whether it be musically writing. I feel in this next year, I'm going to be on a writing team that's going to lead me to bigger and better things. It's getting to the point where, like, I'm only hurting myself by not attacking it the way I'm just half-assing shit. And you spread yourself too thin, or you can't get one thing totally accomplished. That's one thing. Because I'm one of them people who, like, I do so much that some days my whole day might be dedicated just to figuring out what direction I need to go in, because there's so many directions I can go in.
Right.
So I feel like it's a lot of people who just, like, planning is a big part of success. You got to have your goals set on something. It can't just be aimless. Like we said before, man, you can't be a wandering generality. You must be a meaningful specific in life. So it's just like, what do you cling to that you feel like would propel you to the next level, and you'll be able to use all the tools that you done put in your toolbox up until now.
Because you can have situations where you got to do that, and you can have situations like I was saying to some people that stop. You got to have a plan of what you can do. You got to be able to, whatever you can control within your power, you got to make your plan for that. But that doesn't mean that once you get to that 5th year that the response is going to be what you felt it should have been. You could have did everything that you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And from there, you're like, okay, boom. All right, then now let's try this. Along with me doing this, now let's add this to my vision. Cause like you said, if you don't have that structure, you will be floating. You be in space floating like, what the heck?
Infinitely.
Infinitely.
Until you lock onto it.
Yeah. So my thing, like I was saying, was because I didn't finish answering your question, but it would be that the touring. Because at one point in time, I did a bunch of touring, and then I started having children. Then it's, you know what I mean, had to hone it in and do things more regionally or whatever. Yeah. So now that I'm freed back up, so my goal was stay in shape. Stay on top of your writing, stay on top of performing, stay healthy. So when your kids are grown and you can jump back out there, you right back out there. You didn't stop, and now you just being opened up to more opportunities, and you gonna be out here with some of the young ones. It don't matter, long as I'm in that right community of type of artist, where it doesn't matter the age, it matters the quality of the content and whatever. So that part I'm able to control. So I'm controlling that. So then I would love to be able to, and then I've done like the placements and stuff like that with commercials and TV shows and stuff. I would want to continue to do that, but even more, I want to get into the point where I'm scoring films. Like I've scored films, but it's been independent. I want to be able to score big budgeted things or whatever. It's things to where it would be more financially profitable for me, you know what I'm saying? And I would like to get into acting. So I'm just now starting to get in. That was the thing that I always felt like I knew I could do it, but that's one of the things I didn't just go ahead and do. Like that was the only thing that I just didn't go ahead and jump out and just start doing the acting thing. So that's what this year I'm going to make sure I step out and add that to what it is that I do, like as far as being a creative, to add to my appeal, add to a potential revenue stream, so that and then after that I want to own something that I love pizza and I love movies. So I've always envisioned being able to own like own or have some type of stake of ownership in a movie theater and like a pizzeria inside the movie theater.
That'll be hard.
You know
that's
what I'm
a
saying?
perfect pair.
Yeah. So that's something that I've always wanted to do. Perfect.
Whoa. Hey, bro.
Yeah.
That could be it.
Yeah. Yep.
It don't get much happier than eating a slice of your favorite pizza and watching a movie, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez.
Man.
What's your favorite movie snack? Either to sneak into the movie and just have it with you, or it's something that they sell there. Like popcorn is the staple, but I can do without popcorn.
Right, but you know something about popcorn is like when I go in and I'm like I ain't about to get no popcorn. I'm going to get this, and that. When I smell it, it's like, man, let me just get a small.
I seen people talking about it, and the smell is way more
better than
the actual. Like, okay, now I got it. Oh, I could have did without.
Yeah,
the aroma be like.
Because I never eat it all. Now it's my kids are there, and I was like, here, y'all finish it out. They kill it. But I think that
there's so much salt, man.
I think that for me, I like eating pizza in the movies and some fries.
Anything that you can just reach down.
Me and Fire done came in with Bar Louie's, the burgers, the veggie burger, the fries, and I had a what's that flatbread pizza. Just be glutton.
Bro, and find you a good 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
Well, you know I ain't gonna have to move for 2 hours. It's my birthday today, man. I think I might go to the movies, man.
It's your birthday today?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I thought your birthday was man. Happy birthday,
hey, man. Appreciate it.
Damn.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, February 20. We taping on the 23rd, man. It's gonna air on a Wednesday though, but yeah, man.
Heck, nah. Why was I thinking of? No, I thought your birthday was in April. That's what I was thinking.
Nah, that's skills.
That's skills. Yeah, that's skills. Dang. Oh man, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go celebrate and do something, man. I like to do, man. I think I might just, man, go to Chick-fil-A, man. Give me something and just go find a good movie to go watch, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah, but we was talking the other day. I forget who I was talking to. I think it was it's a guy who
Know what I'm talking about? Know what I'm talking about? We gonna call this song, you know what I'm talking about.
He do spoken word sometime, but his main job is he run like some of the networking and the computer end of Kroger's. So he actually working on a website for me right now. But he was just like, man, what? We was just talking about what you think would take you to the next level. And I think that leap of faith, man, is so heavy. It's scary because you don't want to leave something that you don't. It's like you leaving comfort in something that you quote unquote know for something that you like. I don't know how it's gonna work, but every time that I didn't know how it was gonna work, that's when it worked the best for me. Really, like,
right.
I think about all the stuff I did when I didn't have a job and how like that wasn't supposed to work like that, and it worked. It's just like, man, and I'm so blessed, creatively wise, or it's just time to stop playing with it, man. It's just time to stop playing with it, man.
Yeah.
I was working one of those like we talk about side jobs, man. I think if you especially if you're an artist out here and you're trying to find a side job because you're trying to avoid like working for the man, every city has a stage handlers union where you get called for certain concerts and shows that come to your city. Might be a play, might be a concert, but the production team that travels with the show will call on the union city workers that work for production crews in that city to come set up stages, run lights, set up video, audio, all that stuff. And I was doing a show with Little Big Town last week.
Okay.
You heard of them? Over at the Taft Theater. And it's been on my mind lately heavy, like, man, you need to go to Nashville. I don't even know, and I think that's a big part of it too. Like, I don't know why that keeps shouting that place.
Right.
But it's a lot of writers down there. And I've been looking into it, man. So I'm talking to one of the dudes who wrote with the production crew, and it's the end of the night. Like, thank y'all for coming out, man. And for some reason, he just came over to me like, yeah, man, what you like? What's good? We just engaged in conversation.
Right.
Like, yeah, we just talking like, so where y'all going next? I mean, we're going back to Nashville. So I'm talking to him about Nashville, man. Like, yeah, I want to be able to go somewhere to be able to work on music, become a writer, man, get some of my beats, just sync lights and play stuff like that. He's like, bro, that's the best place for you. Matter of fact, and then he gave me a number to the production company that he wrote with and two other ones down there. And they like, the Stage Handlers Union is one thing, but these are like actual production companies that get picked up for different shows and travel around with shows. And it's just like, it keep getting thrown at me. Right. I can't ignore it no more. I feel like I'm going to end up paying for not taking it. Because the regret, man, Ohio, I feel like it breed regretters. You just get to the point you're like, man, I ain't never do what I needed to do. So you just tell people like, man, I heard so many people be like, man, see, you still young, man. You can go out here and just do it. You ain't got no kids. What? You can go out here and just get it. Like, I can't keep wasting that, man. And I've been watching my dude Skills out here living his life, bro. But I think about what Skills did. Skills doesn't do anything that don't support the mindset that allows him to be productive at what he's doing. Right. He makes sure he always in a place where his mind can be happy, lightweight, carefree, and keep him focused on music. He might listen to the same song for a month straight. But I start realizing, like, he's doing that because it's massaging him into, like, this feels good, though. He don't do shit that don't feel good to him. Right. And I admire that. And he got a stick-with-itiveness that's just, you start to see the strengths in the people you be around. Right. Like, oh, okay, that's what he was putting in my life to teach me. It's crazy, bro. Right. Like, Skills out here getting it. And he on the path to, like, really achieve what we was talking about when we was 19. Right. It's just like, I feel like a lot of times I strayed away from that to go work a job to get some type of financial security for now. And then I look back, I don't work none of those places. So it's just like, you gonna learn. Yeah. Like, either willingly or unwillingly. But you gonna end up seeing, and I don't want to be that guy who just like, the scene that always come to me is in the movie The Temptations. When the dude quit the group, and then the group is on TV in the bar, and he at the bar sitting drinking. He look up, and all his homeboys he used to be cool with is just getting it. Right. Like, oh, no. Bro. Right. So I hope it ain't too late, man. But I'm definitely got to do it. For sure. I don't know I went on a tangent, man.
Nah. That's a good one.
Just getting invented.
That's a good one. There's people that's going to need to hear this.
Yeah, man.
And, honest conversation can't hurt. Can't hurt for real. And I feel like there could be opportunities that have been missed, or perceptions that might have led you astray or made you feel whatever. But the fact of the matter is that, like you say, somebody would say, you're young, you can go do this. We woke up, and you're still busy. It's not like you stopped, you went and worked those jobs and you stopped. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're still doing something to keep your mind creative, and you knowing that I need to go, you still got that in your, like, I need to do this. I need to do. So you putting that thought out there, it's just gonna be the right situation that ends up coming along, and then because sometimes people can go and do and have a situation pop, and they're on it, and it make you think, or you feel like, dang, I ain't doing what I'm supposed. Nah, it's just they supposed to go that way, and then you supposed to come, because maybe they need to go do that, and then circle back around. You still doing stuff? Yeah, let's go. Now this fits with you know what I'm saying?
Even like I want what.
Not that you want
it to skills, but
right.
it's just like
I'm just saying. I'm not
proof.
Yeah.
Like if you focus on you and build you, that it can happen.
Right.
I think a lot of times why people give, especially in Cincinnati, on creative goals is because you don't see nobody around you obtain those creative goals. If you live in LA, you might have grew up and been like, who is this light skinned dude that's always around? He ended up just being Ice-T one day. You like, I seen it happen, or like. You close enough to see it. A lot of times we don't see it here, so it makes us a consumer city. We don't believe it unless it's on TV. Exactly. That's usually how we take in our dreams. We don't see somebody next to us achieving a dream and then roll with that. Like, okay, so it's possible. We see somebody on TV strive to be like them. So it just, hey man, I'm realizing every day that, man, you can manifest and create the life that you want to live. Just getting those ideas out of your head and making them physical. Bro, we sitting on somebody's ideas. These chairs was an idea.
Right.
People was like, man, you crazy. Like, we sit on the ground. We don't even have a word for sit.
Right.
We just be on the ground all the time.
Right.
Appreciate you. But, like, you sitting inside people's thoughts and minds. Like, you driving somebody's thoughts. You sit your TV on somebody's thought, like a TV was somebody's thought, and then they just was like, nah, but this the way I'm going. Hey, like, imagine if Dr. Dre was just like, nah, bro, just gonna work at Best Buy. It wasn't even no Best Buy back then. But just imagine, like, we would lose some of the greatest people. So,
right.
Another tangent, man. How much time we just spent?
We coming up on 2 hours.
So I'm coming up on 2 hours, man. How 1 hour and a half or?
No, like actually, like it's about to be 2 hours and 2 minutes.
Oh man. So yeah, man. We're gonna have to get up out of here, man. But I think I like this, man. More shows just be like real heart driven. It don't seem like it was too structured. It just kind of just happened, especially when we don't have a guest.
Right.
I hope I didn't talk you to death, man. This is the Nomtombout Radio Show on 91.7 WVXU. Tell them where you're going to be this week, man. Tell them how to get in touch with you, Vibe.
No doubt. You can catch me online at Mr. Vibe1 on Instagram, Vibe1 on Twitter, Vibe1, VIBE-ONE on Facebook, and E.S.A.ENT for any booking. Thank you. Studio time, mixing, mastering, like I said, booking, anything dealing with musical, creative business. That's the email to hit me up on. Like I said, we did the Thrive last week, which was a success. We also did the Path of a Pisces, which was a great turnout, another success. Shout out to all involved with those two shows. Got more shows coming up in March. So probably by our next airing, I will let you guys know when all of those will be coming up and where we'll be at. So until then, I'm Vibe1. That's what I got going on. Peace and love, y'all.
Yeah, my name is Six. You can follow me on Instagram, Blaze6513, man. Make sure you check out Inner Space, the album on Spotify, Blaze6, BLAZESIX. Man, yeah, just trying to stay creative. Got the type-ish clothing. Make sure you be a part of that. Get some of that. I've been getting some inquiries this past week, so I'm happy about that, man. And just trying to stay creative and not let life drive me crazy, man. Trying not to micro think everything. Yeah, man. And just keep on creating content. We got a lot of good content coming up the rest of this year, definitely. So yeah, man, until next time, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Nomtombout_radio. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Nomtombout. YouTube, Nomtombout Radio. We got videos up there. What else do I want to talk about? Yeah, man, I think that's about it, man. About to go try to enjoy this birthday for as much time as it's worth. I don't know, man. Might go see a movie. Might go. Eating is definitely gonna be a part of it. So we're gonna find something delicious to put inside my mouth and digest. And yeah, we're gonna call it a day, man. Grateful for another year. Grateful that God has given me the ability to keep being creative, to still see vision, have vision. We've really been putting plans in my head. So, man, I pray for you if you pray for me, man. I pray. I just made a new shirt. I was talking to a guy who's a musician here in town. You might know Antoine Franklin. But we had a conversation and led to a shirt. So if you want to get one of the Prosperity Through Passion shirts, hit me up, man. Pretty much just use what God gave you to get what he got for you. So yeah, man, until next time, man, I'm going to stop talking your head off. This has been the Nomtombout Radio Show on 91.7 WVXU HD2 FM. Check us here every Wednesday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Stream us on radioartifact.com. Also check us out on Spotify, Nomtombout Radio. Check us out. Just Google us. And we'll check y'all next week. Nomtombout, yo. Until next time, goodbye.